And the rebound for North Carolina. There it is. Great lead feed, the two for Puck Johnson and UNC.
Spinning in on Baycott, loses it, and then commits a foul. Spirited debate.
Well, people were saying, well, so-and-so's got to be in the discussion. And I was like, there is no discussion. It's my team. Put your own team out there. Boy, good job by Puff Johnson to get around front and knock that away.
As you mentioned earlier, they got as many opportunities in the low box area as you can.
He's only got 2 free throws to show for his work so far. Here he is down on the baseline, up and under, and there's his first field goal.
Trying to keep up with Thornton.
That Key's only field goal was a 3-pointer to open the game. They try to feed it to him, and they throw it away there as well, and a foul.
It's tough to get your clock back, especially when you go on the road. He had 6 points, 6 rebounds in that game.
Black the rebound. Johnson will try, and Puff knocks it down.
Yeah, it's a little different, you know, a lot less conservative on the defensive end, but, you know, they're causing a lot of chaos.
Puff Johnson from 3, his first basket.
You know, he's a blue-collar guy. You know, he comes to work every day, and, you know, he's the type of guy that people want to win. You know, people want to root for.
Well, that floater from Puff Johnson kind of puffed it up there.
How far Morehead State is having to initiate their offense, and now we're under 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Thelwell trying to find some space, does look to give it up for Eddie Ricks III.
They haven't found the range, but they've definitely found it on this end of the floor.
Trent Scott checking in, gives them some size, and another good ball handler on the floor. Puff Johnson in as well.
And what you're seeing now, the bench at Morehead State is involved in this game.
Nice cut. Puff Johnson flashing to the cup, and Baldwin finds him.
Both these teams will use three-quarter court pressure to try to find ways to force turnovers and often speed up their opponent.
Jumper up by Puff Johnson. He'll knock it down.
Trying to box out.
I think he was clean. Johnson on the attack. Flips it up. What a difficult shot, but he gets it to go. Baldwin. Long one coming from Johnson, and nothing but net. This is a rematch of the NCAA tournament, which Penn State won in their meeting last year. Difficult shot there, and count the basket. Puff Johnson will be at the line, too.
And he's been able to win his matchup one-on-one. This time just takes Carter to the basket. And it is going to be extremely difficult. Last year, nice find from Ace Baldwin.
Very quietly, the Aggies are getting a strong game. That one's going to be knocked away by Solomon Washington. Been crashing the glass. Here's Johnson. Got it.
But one guy that should not be left open is Pierre Brooks II.
Johnson with an answer.
To be able to get a coach, Shaka Smart, of course, Will Wade, and Mike Rhodes, all a part of that 2011 coaching staff that took them to the Final Four.
Shoga off the fake. Another fake, gets it in the air, can't connect. Tough rebound by Furman. Knocked away, and he'll commit the foul. Puff Johnson to his left, off the window. Nicely done.
And Puff Johnson was great.
Same for VCU. He makes one of 2. Rebounded away, Johnson.
That's a big play at the end of the half.
Nick Burns getting set to check in. Along with DeMarco Dunn. Penn State has gotten a lot of points off turnovers so far this year.
They didn't stop the ball. Forrest stepped in with confidence and knocked it down. Like, no coach is ever going to get mad at a guy shooting shots he knows he can make.
Puff Johnson, that was online. Half a minute to go in this first half. Johnson, big drive for Penn State.
We have ourselves a nice ball game.
Young, the skip into the corner. Dante Scott trying to get it started early. Long rebound off the miss. Young has it poked away by Puff Johnson.
Well, percentage-wise, these teams not good three-point shooting teams this year.
These are new teams, so with new coaches, a lot to get used to early on.
Larry put it off the glass in transition.
Nice ball movement.
Johnson trying to find one. Finally connects. He had missed his first 5 triples, but knocks that one in.
Second chance opportunities.
Tough find. Good cut. Puff Johnson laid it in.
That's a nice find. You were right on that, Jason.
Well, hot now with 8 boards. Penn State needs a bucket. Johnson for 3. Put it in. Reeves having a hard time finding somebody. Kelly lost it to Baldwin. Puff Johnson. Penn State back in front. Done with nice patience. Could not finish. Johnson found it and put it in himself.
That's a strong finish by Johnson. Throw that chicken wing out there. A little early Christmas gift.
Well, again, not inside of 2 minutes. And instead, it's Johnson for 3. And the Nittany Lions back in front.
Baldwin gives it up. Here's Hicks around the screen. Back out. Puff Johnson, long 3. He gets the roll. Shooter's roll. And the senior
come into a Big Ten arena and play, but this can be a difficult atmosphere at times for the home team here.
Johnson, yes, again, off the dish from Clary. Closeout by Sutherland. Quick ball movement, good ball movement that time. Baldwin, deep corner 3.
That's a different look than the first possession of the second half.
Baldwin around the screen. Puff Johnson, floater, left hand, up and in.
Use that ball screen to move the zone, and I like Puff Johnson.
He's only got a couple of buckets in the game, and yet we're right there. McClure around the defender, leaves it, nice dish. High into the air, though, taken away by Johnson. We'll see, it is Sutherland.
It has been about driving the ball for Lemoyne. Dump off is there, but how about Puff Johnson with that left hand? He's going up and erasing 2 points off the board.
Q's got 4 so far. And the ball poked away by Puff Johnson. Clean steal. Johnson dribbling down the left side of the lane, lays it up and in. A long layup it was, floated in, and once again, Kevin Baggett. Now to Tariq Ingram at the free throw line. West Ingram trying to float an entry pass, and it's deflected away, and Ray Q. Mitchell takes it on the run. Mitchell to the hoop, deflected away from Alan Powell, however. Frustration than anything else.
Yeah, good luck covering him in the MAC.
Underneath, Puff Johnson on a great bounce pass from 40 feet away from Ace Baldwin, lays it up and in. Raji Goodmanson is getting set to check in as Brown releases for 3. That won't go. Puff Johnson with the offensive board. He'll put back up a hook from 8 feet out, and that drops in, but nope.
Just so smooth, makes it look so easy. He's up to 20, right at his season average. Johnson responds from 3.
Larry breezes by, sends it out. Johnson 3, it's good! That's what Penn State's been looking for.
That's right. They're 1.2 points per possession.
Another steal. Clary's in the open court. Kanye makes it a 3-point game.
All right, Wayne, I'm going to ask you something. Did Wahab score last time when he touched the ball?
Yes.
Why didn't he touch the ball that time?
Well, I don't know. Here's a steal. Puff Johnson swims around McDaniel and lays it in. One that Penn State felt was much needed. Burnett had that one blocked.
Second half comeback. They trailed in the first half by double figures against Michigan. Out to Palestra. There's that quick touch to Wahab. Extra pass, good look, and an early bucket for Puff Johnson. There's been a lot of contact that's been let go here in this ball game too. Good find, Puff Johnson. Not a ton of contact, but a foul and a chance for 3.
It's a little bit of some Princeton action. Right? So watch Ace Baldwin when he drives towards his teammate and they cut back door. They've gotten that 3 times here this evening, and Puff Johnson with that nice, just couldn't quite connect.
Larry on the curl. Johnson with the floater. Back-to-back Nittany Lion buckets.
And now Johnson comes up with the steal.
Good cut.
Beautifully done as Johnson lays it in.
Puff Johnson just cutting right through the heart of that Purdue defense.
16-0 lead to start the game. Talked a lot about it, but they have kept that pedal on the floor.
And I like this 1-3-1 that Ohio State's playing right now defensively. No hesitation, spin move, got to the soft part of the zone. Nice finish.
Another three, down again for Puff Johnson. 8 points for Royal in that little stretch. Ultra aggressive. Speaking of aggressive, Kern leaves it off to Johnson. They're still one of the youngest teams in the country, definitely the youngest in the conference. All those freshmen a year ago getting those quality minutes. Puff Johnson drills another three. Gale just inside that free throw line. Nope. Nice rebound by Puff Johnson. He's had a great second half.
He has. I want to see more of that.
Johnson to the rack and
energy and came out, cost him the game. We noticed it right at halftime.
Puff Johnson can't get the easy two. The putback goes with 9 seconds left.
Mawat Mag scoreless at the moment for a second straight game. They do not get the takeaway, and there's two Nittany Lions in the front court, and Puff Johnson is all alone.
Where was the most difficult place for you to play when you were at Illinois?
Mackey Arena?
Yeah. Indiana fans won't want to hear you say that.
I mean, Indiana's a close second. This venue's a close second, don't get me wrong. Good rebound by Puff Johnson.
Oh, what a take by Puff Johnson. Lots of fouls to give here, too, if you're Indiana. Baldwin rims it out. Second effort, floated over the top of Ware by Puff Johnson.
Baldwin, number 1 in white, and Clary, number 0 in white, is going to have to get it going on the offensive end.
Puff Johnson, they would love for that to go down. Another three for the Nittany Lions.
I like these two guards on the floor right now for Penn State. Clary, 0. And Ace Baldwin, number 1. Those guys got to be able to create some offense.
Hawkeyes, short on the triple, tapped out, he got it again. And swiped. Puff Johnson off the bench has the steal. Puff got it back, finishes, and a chance for 3.
And it's off the bench for Penn State. Look at him fill the lane, coming through hard, he gets the hit. Doesn't matter. Penn State holding the line off here.
Penn State has forced 17 Illinois turnovers. Make it 18. And Puff Johnson makes it a 2-point game.
You know, with all those reserves in there, well, you got to make sure you really rely on Ware.
They found Puff Johnson just off the bench, and he ties the game at 12. Again, the Hoosiers still playing without Trey Galloway. He left as they were looking at his left foot. He's back on the bench, but has not come back into the game.
And that's where you need to go if you're Penn State. That better go in.
And it does. Puff Johnson knocks in his second 3 of the half. Third time, Baldwin at the bucket. Puff Johnson, the floater.
Johnson, Bryce Baldwin Jr.
You tend to forget if you watched him in high school what a prolific scorer he was, because after 12 games in his senior year, he broke his tibia and his fibula. He's been a terrific defender as well ever since he got here. Puff Johnson's starting to heat up. He's got 5. Johnson drives with the left hand for 2. Patrick McCaffrey going to work from the foul line. Fades away a little bit short. Long rebound batted out to Jameel Brown. Johnson, the blow by for the flush. Josh Dix. Tipped and taken away. Johnson got his hands on that one. Rebound tipped out to Johnson. Jumps it ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell to the rim for the 2-hand flush.
Hobb did a good job of just creating enough space.
Mitchell looking. Drives on Cricky, and it's out of bounds. He lost it on the way up, and a turnover that Penn State could ill afford in a moment like that.
Garcia's game at Illinois, no doubt Christie had his best game of his career also there, playing at a high level.
23 points, it's 6 threes in that loss. Speaking of threes, Puff Johnson knocks it down. Johnson trying to beat Garcia, floats and scores. Good start for Puff Johnson, back in the starting lineup for a while. Marco Dunn, despite those flu-like symptoms, is on the floor right now as Kern picked up his second foul. Johnson fires up top, and Puff Johnson off to a strong start today at the barn.
Puff has been magic from three, knocked down 4 triples in the first half. Penn State made 9.
Johnson, heat check time, man, why not?
Just a quick little pin down here. They tried to go over the top of it, wide open, and as you said, it's a heat check time for Puff Johnson.
18 points for Penn State so far off 6 Minnesota turnovers. Puff Johnson in the hot hand early on, and still has it.
70% from 3. Christie was 6 for 9, and tonight he's 0 for 3.
Down low for a moment. Wahab had Hawkins on him, but that one rattles around and in. In January, Wahab is back on the floor, by the way, with 4 fouls. Backdoor Puff Johnson, nice slash and score, and Penn State answers back.
Now this time they get the backdoor cut after reversing it.
That was on Fox, his 3rd.
Takes it to the rim. Those are those easy baskets that have been hard to come by.
Kern going to keep the dribble alive, 13 to shoot. Puff Johnson looking baseline. Underneath to Wahab. Count the bucket and a foul.
At an All-American level on the road, and sometimes you got to put those up.
Kern finds Wahab. In some trouble, back to Puff Johnson. There's a 3 for Puff Johnson.
Another example of where Ace Baldwin sometimes is a little too unselfish. I mean, that's an open 3 at the top. He shoots it at 35%.
Oh, Puff Johnson with the block. Baldwin around the Wahab screen to a cutting Puff Johnson, and Penn State with its largest lead at 9.
He told me he had unfinished business coming back to be an assistant coach here. I played against him, and you always talk about guys who, in this modern game, would have been elite players.
With the foul on the drive by Puff Johnson.
Well, this is what happens when you're knocking in 3s at a high rate. Puff Johnson's been on fire.
That's his 3rd from range. He's got 9. There's Puff Johnson on the drive. Flips it to the rim. Count the bucket and the foul.
So I guess Juwan Howard is managing that, but they're going to need more from him. And I guess as long as this game is close, he'll stay over there.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. Right before Hicks knocks down another 3, he is feeling it tonight. McDaniel has it blocked by Johnson. Burnett there to recover. Burnett doubled. McDaniel open. Can't respond. Here's Baldwin. The shimmy shake. Whip it inside. Johnson got it and one.
But what a pass right here. You lose track of Puff Johnson. He's back cutting you.
Pivots, drops it down low. Wahab to work against Ware with the swap. Puff Johnson on the run with the 2-hand flip.
Trying to force the issue. What a sequence for Puff Johnson. Leo Ware with the initial rejection, but then Mackenzie Mbako turning his head. And
rushed a shot put on the baseline. Xavier Johnson hesitates, tried to drop it off, and Ware wasn't looking. Here comes Puff Johnson to the other end. Count it! And the foul!
Taking care of the ball, and there weren't many opportunities for runouts for Penn State. That's a different story on this play. Puff Johnson off to the races. Gets some contact from Mbako.
Johnson will reset. Puff Johnson with a show and the takeaway. Johnson to the other end for the 2-hand flush and the lead for Penn State. Double-double number 15 for Ware. Puff Johnson again. Puff is magic tonight in Minnesota.